Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I am gonna show you top 10 animes in which the main character pretends to be weak, but is overpowered and the girls love him. So before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any videos like this in the future. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Ichiro Suzuki, a programmer in his 40s, is overburdened with work. Worn out, he ultimately has a chance to catch up on sleep, only to wake up in a fantasy RPG world that is a mashup of the games he was debugging in reality. In this new location, he notices that not only has his look altered to that of a younger version of himself, but his name has also changed to Satu, a moniker he used while doing game beta tests. However, before Satu can completely comprehend his circumstances, an army of lizardmen attacks him. Satu is forced to perform a strong spell in response, and his level is increased to 310, effectively maximizing his stats. Satu sets out to explore this wondrous new realm as a high-leveled adventurer armed with a wealth of talents and no way to return to reality. Omamori Himari. Yudo Amakawa has a very typical existence in the city after the loss of his parents. His sole concern while attending school alongside Rinko, his next-door neighbor, is his cat allergies. All of that changes on his 16th birthday, when an Ayakashi, a supernatural creature, attacks him for his ancestors' misdeeds. Himari, a mystery catwoman with a sword, saves him and reveals that Yudo is the scion of a demon slayer family, and she is there to guard him now that the enchantment that kept him concealed from the magical powers of the world has lost its effectiveness. Omamori Himari follows Yudo's interactions with supernatural powers, as well as the increasing number of women that appear on his doorstep, each with their own dark wants. Will Yudo be able to cope with his new, interesting surroundings? Will the ghost of his ancestors' past haunt him? The Quasar of Stigmata. When Tomo Yamanogi's father, the former headmaster of St. Michaelov Academy, vanished, he left nothing except an icon piece of art behind. Soon after his disappearance, reports of a serial murderer targeting female academy students began to circulate. As Tomo and her sister Mafiu Oribe return home from school, Tomo falls over an injured silver-haired kid who vanishes while being treated. Mafiu rushes in search of him, only to discover that the church containing the image is on fire. When she tries to defend the painting, the alleged serial murderer strikes her with an unexplained power to control magnesium. The silver-haired boy with iron control appears out of nowhere and saves Mafiu. Mafiu discovers that the kid, Alexander Nikolaevich Sashahel, is a quasar, a creature capable of influencing an element through the power of soma, which is obtained through nursing. Mafiu, befuddled by the incident, tries to move on with little success when Sasha moves to her class the next day. What will happen to Tomo and Mafiu's usual school life now that other quasars are threatening them? Sorceress Stabber Orphan. Krylin Solo Finrandi and his foster sister Azalee Kate Sith were once promising sorcery students, prodigies at the legendary Tower of Fangs, amid a realm of magic and monsters. However, a botched experiment warps Azalee's appearance, locking her in the form of a dragon. Elders at the tower, more concerned with their own image than with the safety of their pupils, force Azalee away and cover up the occurrence. Outraged, Krylin Solo goes off on his own, using the new name Orphan and intending to restore Azalee to normalcy. Orphan's journey has come to a halt after 5 years. A serendipitous meeting brings him back into contact with Azalee, but he still has no method of restoring her body, and with a hostile group of sorcerers on her tail, he may be out of time. As Orphan attempts to figure out how to free Azalee from their former professors and friends, the past and present clash. Katanagatari. Shichika Yazuri performs Kyotoryu, a method in which the user's own body is used like a blade, in an Edo-era Japan rich with sword fighting styles. Shichika, the enigmatic seventh head of the Kyoto school, lives peacefully in exile with his sister Nanami until the insanely ambitious strategist Togane bursts into their lives one day. Togane boldly asks Shichika for assistance in her endeavor to capture 12 rare swords known as the Deviant Blades for the Shogunate. Shichika accepts, more concerned with the girl herself than with petty politics, and thus embarks on a voyage. The strong wielders of these legendary weapons, as well as other power-hungry beings, stand in their path of Togane's goal. To triumph over their adversaries, the couple must form an unbreakable partnership as they move forth on a perilous route. Undefeated Bahamut Chronicle. Lux, a former prince of the Arcadia Empire, which was toppled in a rebellion 5 years previously, inadvertently trespasses in a female dormitory's bathing area and discovers the kingdom's new princess Lizchart naked, provoking her fury. Lux is then challenged to a drag ride battle by Lizchart. Drag rides are ancient armored mechanical weapons, discovered in ruins all over the world. Lux was formerly renowned as the strongest drag knight, but he is now known as the undefeated weakest drag knight due to his refusal to attack in battle. Lux finds up joining the female-only academy that prepares royals to be drag knights after his battle with Lizchart. UQ Holder. Tauta Kano, 12, has lived his entire life in a small village. He fantasizes of visiting the capital, where there is a skyscraper that rises into space. To realize his desire, he must be his instructor and guardian Yukiheim, who will then allow him to travel to the capital. Tauta's life is turned upside down when a bounty hunter arrives to collect a reward for Yukiheim's head. Tauta drinks Yukiheim's blood in a desperate bid to save both his mentor and his comrades, transforming him into an immortal monster capable of destroying the bounty hunter. Yukiheim reveals herself to be the centuries-old vampire Evangeline Athanasia Catherine McDowell. She and Tauta run to the capital, where they begin on an adventurous trip that will change both of their lives forever. Gleipnir. Shuichi Kagaya is a typical high school student, yet he can transform into a monster at times. He has no idea how or why he acquired his talents. All he knows is that he would rather no one knew about them. One night, he discovers a burning building with a girl trapped inside. He changes and carries her to safety after deciding to save her, but he drops his phone in the process. The next day, Claire Oki, the girl he saved, tracks him down and confronts him with his monstrous identity. She even pushes him over the school roof to establish her notion after Shuichi disputes her claims. He changes in order to rescue himself, and Claire takes a picture of him in order to blackmail him into teaching her everything he knows about monsters, which sadly isn't much. Claire, it turns out, has a secret of her own. She has been looking for her sister, who has also turned into a monster. She enlists Shuichi's assistance in locating her, but they aren't the only ones looking for answers. Haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto. Sophisticated, suave, magnificent are all terms that define Sakamoto, who is incredibly gorgeous and plainly faultless. Despite the fact that it is just his first day of high school, his looks, intellect, and charisma have the girls swooning and the males boiling with envy. No one appears to be able to stop him, as all attempts to trip him up are immediately rebuffed. His joy de vivre is unbreakable, and his wits are unrivaled. Will any of Sakamoto's students, or even professors, be able to compete with him? Probably not, but they might learn something along the way. The disastrous life of Saiki Kei. To the typical individual, psychic powers may appear to be a godsend, yet for Kuso Saiki, this could not be further from the reality. With superhuman powers ranging from telepathy to X-ray vision, he sees this so-called blessing as nothing more than a curse. As the problems caused by his powers mount, all Kuzuo wants is a normal, trouble-free existence, a life where ignorance is bliss. Unfortunately, the life of a psychic is everything but peaceful. Though Kuzuo tries to avoid the spotlight by keeping his skills hidden from his peers, he unwittingly attracts the attention of a slew of strange people, including the empty-headed Rikinendu and the crazy Shunkeidu. Forced to deal with the madness of others around him, Kusuo discovers that the everyday life he has been pursuing is far more difficult to accomplish than he anticipated. So these were the top 10 animes in which the MC pretends to be weak, but is overpowered and the girls love him. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss any more updates like this in the future. Also let me know some of your anime recommendations in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next one.